Good morning, afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Today, we're diving into the topic of viewing and communicating project information using Microsoft Project. Understanding how to effectively view and communicate project details is crucial in ensuring project success. Our agenda today includes exploring various views, tables, and filters available in Microsoft Project, as well as discussing how these elements help us provide a comprehensive overview of a project's status. We'll start by looking at the different views that Microsoft Project offers. The most commonly used view is the Gantt view, which visually represents our project schedule. We'll go through how to navigate and utilize the Gantt view effectively to track progress. Next, we'll explore other view types, including the network diagram, which shows the project tasks and their dependencies, the calendar view for a time-based perspective, and the timeline, which helps us present a high-level summary of our project to stakeholders. We will also discuss tables. Tables in Microsoft Project are essential for displaying specific information, such as tasks, resources, and cost in an organized format. They allow us to analyze and view key data points in our project, ensuring that we stay on top of critical metrics. We'll then look into filters, which help us focus on particular aspects of our project, such as incomplete task, critical task, or task assigned to specific team members. Filters are great tools for drilling down into project details and addressing specific areas that may need attention. By the end of this session, you should feel confident in using different views, tables, and filters to monitor and communicate key project information effectively. Now, before we dive into the technical details, I hope you understand that my goal is not only to teach you how to use Microsoft Project and its various functionalities, but also to explain why you're using it. I want you to be able to clearly articulate this knowledge to your colleagues and apply it in your future work. By doing so, you'll demonstrate how Microsoft Project makes project management more efficient and effective, ultimately helping you and your teams achieve project success. Okay, let's review the Gantt chart view of Microsoft Project, and let me again break down the different components for you. On the left, we have the task table, which lists all the tasks in the project, and each row represents a single task, and the columns provide details such as the task name, start date, end date, duration, and resources assigned to each task. Most of you are, I'm assuming everyone is familiar with this because you have gone through the different assignments as well as your project evaluation number 1. On top of the selection, there's a view selection menu, and even on the left side, which allows users to switch between different views of the project, such as a Gantt chart view, calendar view, or resource view. You can also right-click on the left pane where the view name is displayed, which will bring up a menu showing the various available views. I will show this particular screen on MS Project later on. Now, below the menu, we have the task details section, which provides more information about the selected task, including specific attributes or settings relevant to the project management aspect. Now, the main area of the screen is dedicated to the Gantt chart, which is a graphical representation of the project schedule. And each bar in the chart represents a task, and its position and length indicate the start date, duration, and end date of the task. And this visual representation helps users and even your audience identify dependencies between tasks and potential scheduling conflicts. So I have here our London Locks condominium project example that I have shared with you. As you can see, we have the task table here, which lists all the tasks in this particular project, and each row represents a single task in the project. And we have column names such as task name, duration, start, finish, percent complete. You could add more by inserting a column of your preference field for your project. On top, there's a view selection menu, which allows you to switch between the different views. At the same time, this can also be accessed by right-clicking on this left side of the window, and which will bring up a menu showing the various available views. Right. Now, below the menu, we had a task details section, which provides more information about the selected task, including specific attributes or settings relevant to the project management aspects. And as you can see, when I added this task form view, the task form format is appeared on top of the screen. And you are presented with the different options to navigate and customize your task view form. If you are going to look for details about the work, including overtime work, baseline work, actual work, other types of components related to work, you can browse and change all your settings here. If you are going to look at the task form but related to the schedule, you can navigate on this particular area of the details and be able to identify and customize your leveling delay, schedule start, schedule finish, and so forth. And as I mentioned a while ago, the main area of the screen is the Gantt dedicated to the Gantt chart, which is the graphical representation of your project schedule. And each bar of this chart represents the task, and its position and length, as you can see here, represents or indicates a start date and duration and end dates of this task. Not only can we choose different views to see our data clearly, but we can also edit our existing views or even create new ones. Now, this adaptability is crucial as you have different projects, and different projects might require unique perspectives. And what do I mean by this? So imagine you're managing two different projects in Microsoft Project. One is a software development project, and the other is a construction project. For the software development project, you may primarily focus on task dependencies and progress tracking. So the Gantt chart view would be ideal. Because it allows you to easily see the sequence of tasks, their durations, and how they relate to one another, basically helping you ensure that the tasks are completed in the right order and within the time frames. On the other hand, for the construction project, you might be more concerned with resource allocation, making sure that your labor, your materials are properly scheduled and available when needed. So in this case, you'll be using or you can use a resource usage view in the Microsoft project, right? Because it can help you monitor how resources are utilized and ensure that no one is over or under allocated. Another example that I can think of is when a project team may need to focus on different phases or milestones rather than the granular task list. Now, the ability to switch between these views ensures that we can communicate progress effectively to all the stakeholders involved. By editing components, you can optimize how Microsoft Project displays data, helping you manage your projects more effectively. In most cases, the default Gantt chart view shows all the tasks, which can be overwhelming if you have lots of details. So let's take a closer look at our London Locks condominium project as an example. Here's how you can edit the view to focus on a critical task. So I have here opened the London Locks condominium project. We will go to View, tab on the ribbon, click on the Filter drop-down menu, and select Critical Task or Critical. This will filter out all non-critical tasks, showing only the tasks that directly impact the project's finish date. And if you want to add more relevant information about this critical task, you can right-click on any column header, let's say like the task name, and select Insert Column. Add columns such as percent completion, and we have the start date and the finish date here to provide quick insights into the status of your critical task. All right, just going over this London Locks condominium project again. So I have here this project opened, and to apply the critical task filter, we go to the View tab and click on the filter drop-down menu and select critical. This will filter out all the non-critical tasks, showing only the tasks that directly impact the project's finish date. And if you want to add more, as I mentioned a while ago, more relevant information about this critical task, you can just simply right-click on any of the column header and insert column and insert your preferred and chosen field. You can adjust the Gantt chart display as well by right-clicking on the Gantt chart area and choose bar styles to modify the appearance of the task bars. You might change the color of the critical task, for example, to yellow, making them visually stand out. Let's do that. The name here the critical name is not appearing here, so I will just insert a new row and type in critical. I will adjust the appearance later on. I will choose from here what type of information has to be in critical. I will just also choose critical. And from here down on the bottom, you have the option of choosing the color for the start, middle, and end of that particular bar. I'm choosing yellow for now, just for demonstration. As you can see here, this is how it would look like or appear for critical tasks. Press enter or press OK. I can change the color of the bars over here by right-clicking on the Gantt chart and choosing bar styles and hovering over the criticals section and changing the color of this bar to yellow. So this makes them visually stand out. So to save this customized view for future use, you can go to View tab. Click the drop-down menu and select Save View. You can name it as Critical View, Task View, let's say. So you can easily switch to it whenever you need a focused look at the project's critical path. By customizing your Gantt chart view, you now have a focused display showing only the critical tasks with important details like start, finish dates, and the percent completion. So these are highlighted for you to be whenever you choose this particular view. And as you can see on the left side, the critical task view part 1 has been added, and this is what will be shown to you when you click on this particular view under your Gantt chart, under your view menu. So this allows you to easily monitor and manage tasks that have the most significant impact on your project schedule. Now, if you want to revert to the default view in Microsoft Project after making customization, you can easily do so. So to reset the filter, you just go to the View tab and press and select No Filter. This will remove any filter like the critical task filter you applied and restoring the default task display. Alternatively, you can manually adjust the columns back to the standard setup, which typically includes the columns like task name, duration, start, and finish. Now, if you saved a new customized view, you can go back to the original Gantt chart by selecting Gantt chart from the task views group in the View tab. This will load the default Gantt chart settings. Now, if you change the appearance of your Gantt bars, right, with like what we did a while ago, just right-click in the Gantt chart area and select bar styles again. And you can manually adjust the styles back to their default settings. Or a click reset if there's available, depending on the version of the Microsoft project you have, you are using. Now, if you want a quick way to revert all changes, you can save your work, close the file, and reopen. So this reloads the project with the default views, provided you didn't save any custom views as the new default, right? So the default is a Gantt chart, but if you saved your custom view as the new default, then your customized view will be the one appearing or showing when you open up a new project. So overall, this allows you to quickly return to the standard Microsoft project setup if you need to reset your changes and work with the default view again. As you can see, the Gantt chart is more than just a visual representation of our project timeline. It's an interactive tool that allows you to tailor your view to specific needs and priorities. So with the right-click menu, we can access a range of options that let us adjust the graphics section of the chart to suit our needs. We can add or remove grid lines to improve clarity, change the layout to focus on specific tasks or resources, or even highlight, as we did a while ago, highlight critical tasks that require extra attention. So let's take a closer look at what happens when we click on some of these options. For example, if we select grid lines, we can choose to display or hide the grid lines on the chart. Now, this is particularly useful when we need to focus on specific tasks or resources without visual distractions. I'm going to choose to change the Gantt chart rows. Change the color just to demonstrate. And as you can see here, the view or the appearance of the Gantt chart grid lines has been modified. I'm just going to revert the changes I made. And let's click on select layout. Now we can choose to rearrange the task and resources to get a better understanding of our project workflow. So this might help us identify dependencies or bottlenecks that we wouldn't have noticed. I'm going to choose the second option under links. And let's see how it changes the appearance of our Gantt chart. And if we select critical tasks, we can highlight the tasks that are most critical to our project timeline. And this means we can quickly identify the tasks that require our immediate attention and allocate our resources accordingly. You can also show the slack, late task, the baseline, the slippage, and choose the bar styles here. Let's click on critical task. But what does it mean for our project management? So this whole activity means we can quickly identify bottlenecks, visualize our progress, and most importantly, make data-driven decisions. Now, by customizing our Gantt chart, we can streamline our workflow, reduce confusion, and also stay on top of our project timeline. In the table view, you have the ability to modify, duplicate, and create new fields to suit your project needs. Now, to access this feature, navigate to the table section under the data group and select more tables. This will open the more tables dialog box. And from here, click edit to access a table definition window where you can make various adjustments to the table structure. You can cut, copy, insert, delete rows as needed. For example, let's say you want to add percent work complete column to your table. To do so, click insert row and customize the alignment with the title and other properties to your liking. And once you've made the changes, let's click on OK to apply them. I will add the percent work complete after the duration. Before the duration, let's say. Now the percent work complete is displayed right beside the task name. So the updated table will be reflected in the Gantt chart. If you need to revert to the original view, simply go back to the definition table by going to the tables and clicking more tables, edit, and we will edit the table and delete the added rows. When working with project diagrams, it is essential to present your data in a clear and organized manner. That's why Microsoft Project offers various customization options to tailor your network diagrams to your needs. Did you know you can customize the view in the network diagram to suit whatever your needs is or your stakeholders' needs are? To access these options, let's go to the network diagram view. Simply click anywhere in the diagram and a menu will appear. And from here, you can choose from various layout options to optimize your diagram's appearance and functionality. In this layout settings, you'll find several options to customize your diagram. The layout mode has two options. First, it is automatically position all boxes. So the default option is allow manual box positioning. Automatic position all boxes. Selecting this option allows the Microsoft project to arrange all the boxes in an organized manner automatically. So it ensures a clean layout without overlapping elements. Allow manual box positioning, and this option allows manual adjustment of boxes by you. So you can drag and drop boxes as needed for better visual representation or clarity. Now in the box layout section, we have different types of arrangements. So top down from left. So this is a hierarchical arrangement where tasks are placed from top to bottom, starting from the left side of the diagram. So the diagram flows downward. As you move to the right, you encounter tasks dependent on the previous ones. Top down by day. So these tasks are arranged in a top-down format, but are grouped based on the day they are scheduled to start. So this helps visualize what tasks start on the same day. Similarly, top-down by week are tasks that are grouped and arranged by their start week. So giving a broader view of tasks scheduled to start within the same week. Tasks top-down by month. These are tasks that are grouped and arranged by their start month. So this is useful when you are managing long-term projects and want to see an overview of tasks grouped by the month they begin. Now, top-down critical first. Tasks are arranged top-down, but critical tasks or tasks that are in the critical path um, are shown first, followed by non-critical tasks. So this helps in prioritizing tasks that require immediate action. Now, centered from left, tasks are centered horizontally on the left side, and the layout proceeds from top to bottom. So this provides more balanced and centered view of the network by starting from the left. Last but not the least, centered from the top, and the tasks are arranged in a centered format starting from the top and extending downwards. So it provides a symmetrical view where the project tasks are positioned around a central axis. Now we have the row and column, both of which have alignment, spacing, and height configuration. So alignment, basically you choose how boxes are aligned within columns. So options like top, center, and bottom. So options like center affect the visual appeal and structure. We also have spacing. So you could adjust the space between the tasks and the columns, either tighten or widen the layout. So you can play around with this numbers later on when you are configuring your network diagram view. The height determines the height of the boxes. You could choose between compact or best fit or fixed. Now show summary task. This option highlights summary tasks that group associated tasks together, giving a comprehensive view of timed phases. Keep task with their summary. So when this is checked, tasks remain together with their summarizing boxes, maintaining clear association. You can also check and uncheck, adjust for page breaks. Now, link style could be rectilinear, straight, show arrows, and show ink labels. So linear or straight. So you could decide how links appear between tasks. It could be a straight line, as you can see from this visual, which provides a clean visibility of task relationship. You also can show arrows. Basically, this option indicates directionality in links, illustrating the flow of project steps. Show link labels. You can display labels on links to clarify the nature of those connections. All right, as you can see here, finish to start with a lag of 5 days. That is because we have the show links label enabled here. Now in the link color, non-critical links, so you can set a specific color for links that aren't on the critical path, right? Helping differentiate between urgent and non-urgent tasks. And we have, you can use this option to display critical path connections in a distinct color, like red, for example, emphasizing their importance. We'll change it with a brighter red. Right. Now the diagramming options section, we have the background color. This defines the background color of your layout. So this enhances visual appeal and prioritizes documents readability. Let's change that to light blue. You have the option for show page breaks. Now, when this is enabled, it can be activated for printed versions. So mark in progress and completed allows you to visually distinguish completed tasks from those yet to be done, right? And you can also hide all fields except IDs. So you would only see the IDs. I'll show you that later on. All right, this is how it looks like because of the changes that we have made. Let me just go back the layout and show you if I press hide all fields except ID. Let's see what happens. There you go. All the IDs are the ID is the only one displayed in your network diagram. The IDs represent the task numbers or task numbers of your activities. Now, what are the benefits of this customization, you might ask? Now, by taking advantage of these customization options, you can improve the clarity and readability of your diagrams. You can enhance the visual appeal and you can easily identify critical tasks and relationships and streamline your project management workflow. And remember, right-clicking on the network diagram gives you access to these layout options. Now, the calendar view helps you to show which tasks are scheduled for which days in the calendar layout. To open the calendar view of a project file, we will click on the calendar view in the tasks. And within this view, each task is represented by a rectangle that contains the name and the duration. So you will also see the Format tab. You'll be able to see the Format tab of the Calendar Tools contextual tab appear within the ribbon, right over here. So you can use the buttons within this tab to change the visual aspects of this view. So you can click on the textiles, the grid lines, the bar styles, layout now, and other options. Now, formatting these features in the calendar view is the same as when formatting them within the Gantt chart view. To change the appearance of the taskbars within the calendar view, click on bar styles by right-clicking and clicking on bar styles or clicking bar styles over these options. In the bar styles dialog box, use a task type list to select the type of taskbar to format. Let's choose critical. To set the bar type, pattern, color, and split pattern, use a drop down in the bar shape section. To apply shadow to taskbars, check the shadow checkbox in the bar shape section. To check the bar round option. To round the duration shown in the calendar for the type of taskbar, you can check this bar round checkbox in the bar shape section. Now, to show other data fields or data field information in the bars instead of the default value of name, schedule, and duration, click on this drop down, and then check the check boxes for the names of the fields to display within the taskbar. Now click outside the drop-down menu to close it when you're done selecting the data to show, like I did. And here is the final product or final result. You can use the align drop-down to set the alignment of the text in the bars, whether left, center, or right. To wrap the text in the bar, which we can create bars of different heights, check the wrap text in bars checkbox. And when you're finished, click OK to apply OK button to apply your new taskbar style to the type of taskbar you selected. You can click the dialog box launcher that appears in the lower right corner of the layout button group on the Format tab of the Calendar Tools contextual tab within the ribbon to open the Layout dialog box. And here you can choose the method to use for displaying the calendar and its tasks. You can select the option to use the current sort order, or attempt to fit as many tasks as possible on the view. Right? So you can check or uncheck the boxes to show the bar splits and use an automatic layout. When finished, click on the OK button to apply your settings. You can also click on the Layout Now button in the Layout button group. You can also click the Adjust Week Height button to adjust the row height of the weeks that are shown to only accommodate the height of the task they contain. Note that to undo this action, you must click the Undo button or manually resize the week heights to return them to their default height. You can also place your mouse pointer at the bottom of any week shown until it turns into a single horizontal line intersected by a vertical arrow, and then drag and manually adjust the height of the week rows. You can also click any date shown in the calendar view and click Task List button in the Show Hide button group on the Format tab. And it will display the task occurring on dialog box that lists the tasks occurring on that day. You can double click on a task in this dialog box to view its details in the task information dialog box. Again, the task information dialog box will appear when you double click one of these tasks, which you can also close when you are finished. If needed, you can check the primary summary task checkbox in the Show Hide button group on the Format tab to show or hide a line for the primary summary task within the calendar view. In the MS Projects calendar view, the time scale does not have the same level of customization with multiple tiers like the Gantt chart view. I'll show you later what the multiple tiers are in the Gantt chart view, but it's different. The time scale for the calendar view and the Gantt chart view is different. So the time scale settings in the calendar view are simpler. So it focuses primarily on how the calendar displays the time units rather than providing multiple tiers. So here's how the calendar view time scale works and what you can adjust. So the calendar view in MS Project is designated to show project tasks laid out like a traditional calendar with time organized by weeks, and months. So as I mentioned, while it doesn't have the top and bottom tiers like the Gantt chart view, you can control the general appearance and the detail of the calendar. So I have here the calendar view open. The main way to adjust the time scale in calendar view is through zooming it, and zooming it out. So to do this, go to the Format tab, and we have the zoom slider to control how much time you want to see in the calendar. You can also choose how many weeks to display on the screen at once. So you have the option of 7 days and 5 days, and change the formats of the monthly titles, the daily titles, and the week titles as well. I'm going to change this just to demonstrate how it appears after changing the configuration. So the calendar view in the MS and Microsoft project is more limited in its customization compared to the Gantt chart view. So it's designated for straightforward visual representation of tasks over days and weeks, resembling a traditional calendar format that you usually see. So if you need more detailed control over timescale tiers and intervals, the Gantt chart view or the timeline view would offer the necessary options. Let me just quickly go over the Gantt chart view. And if you right click here and press on timescale, you will be presented with a different options with top tier, middle tier, and bottom tier to configure the look of your timescale. Now, the timeline in Microsoft Project is a visual representation of the project schedule that provides a high-level overview of key tasks, milestones, and phases. The timeline is typically displayed above the Gantt chart and can be customized to highlight important details. By default, the timeline appears above the Gantt chart when you create a new project. If it's not visible, you can turn it on by going to the View tab and selecting Add to Timeline. Now, to add a task to the timeline, right-click on the task you want to add and select Add to Timeline. So click on the timeline itself to open the Format tab, the Timeline Format tab. And here you can adjust the styles of the bars, the milestones, add labels, change color. You can also set the timeline's start and end dates. You can also use bar styles to differentiate tasks. Example, making a milestone a different color from regular tasks. The timeline's timescale can be adjusted to focus on a specific period or to show the entire project duration. So this allows you to zoom in or out, displaying only the details needed for the specific presentation or report. So in the Format tab, use the Date Range button to specify which period you want the timeline to cover. Now, a call out task in Microsoft Project is a task that does not have a specific start or end date within the project schedule and is not connected to other tasks through dependencies. So the call out task is used as a visual annotation or reminder in views like the calendar view or Gantt chart view. So call out tasks are often employed to highlight key information, notes, or reminders that aren't tied to any timeline or dependencies, but still provide useful context to the project. So to create a call out task, so again, insert a new task in the task sheet or the Gantt chart. I'll rename it as prepare for client meeting and add this to the timeline. By clicking on this prepare for client meeting task, click display as callout, and you can change the dates of this particular call out to your preference. And it will move in the timeline depending on the dates you assigned it. You can add as many timeline bar as you want. To be able to compare the different timelines and tasks you would like to upload in your timeline. In Microsoft Project, filter, highlight, and sort are powerful tools that help you organize and analyze your project data efficiently. Now, these functions allow you to focus on specific tasks, emphasize key details, and organize information according to your preference, and enhancing your project management and reporting capabilities. Filter, for example, this function temporarily hides tasks that don't meet specific criteria you set. So it allows you to focus only on the tasks that match the criteria, making it easier to manage or analyze relevant parts of your project. Highlight, on the other hand, instead of hiding the tasks, this function temporarily highlights tasks that meet specific criterion, keeping all tasks visible, but making the matching task stand out. So this is useful for drawing attention to particular details without losing the overall context. Next, you have the sort. This function reorders tasks or rows in your project table based on the criteria you choose, such as task names, start date, duration, or any other field. So it helps you organize tasks logically or according to specific needs. Let's start with using filters. Now, again, the purpose of the filters is to temporarily hide tasks that don't match a specific criteria. So let's go to the View tab on the ribbon, and in the Data group, click on Filter and select a predefined filter from the drop-down list. Let's choose Incomplete Task. If you want to create a custom filter, click on the New Filter and name your filter and set conditions. Let's say, task start date greater than today. Right, let's do that as our filter name. Let's look for the start date. Start greater than today. We could say today. Apply and save. Now to remove the filter and display all tasks again, you can simply choose no filter from the drop-down menu. As you can see here, our customized filters are shown in the latest filters that we have created. Now, using highlight, the purpose of this is to emphasize again the tasks that match specific criteria while keeping all tasks visible. All right, so again, we're here in the View tab on the ribbon. In the Data group, let's click on Highlight. And we can choose a predefined highlight filter from the drop-down list. So let's click on active tasks. So to remove the highlight, just select no highlight from the drop-down list. Let's move on to sort. Now, the purpose of sort is to reorder the task in the table based on the selected criteria for better organization. Since we are here in the View tab, let's go to the Data group and click Sort. Now you can select one of the predefined sorting options like sort by date, start date, sort by finish date, by priority, by cost, by ID. Or if you want for a custom sort, click on Sort By. And you can choose the field you want to sort by. For example, sort by percent complete. And you can choose from ascending or descending order based on your preference. And to revert to the original order, just go back to the sort menu and press reset. And the sort by will be returned to ID as the first option. Now, the group task feature in Microsoft Project allows you to organize tasks based on specific criteria or attributes, making it easier to view and analyze project information. And grouping helps create a structured view of your project by organizing tasks into categories, such as resource assignments, completion status, task duration, or custom fields. So this functionality is particularly useful for identifying patterns, monitoring your progress, and focusing on specific aspects of your project. Now, MS Project provides predefined grouping options for common criteria, and here's how to apply them. Let's go to the View tab where we're at now. And in the data group, click on Group By. A drop-down menu will appear with predefined grouping options such as active versus inactive, constraint type, critical, duration, priority, milestones. Right? Now you can select one of the predefined groups and your task will be organized according to that criteria. Let's pick on critical. As you can see here, Microsoft Project has grouped critical and non-critical tasks of your project. Let's click on Group By Priority. As you can see here, there's the priority 500 to 599 grouped, the priority 1000 group, and that's it. The two groups that has been categorized by Microsoft Project. Now you can create your own grouping based on specific fields or criteria that are important to your project, right? So click on the Group By drop-down menu and select More Groups. And in the More Group dialog box, click the New Create, New to create a new group, right? Let's say name, let's say with task category. Category, right? Now in the field section, let's choose the criteria we want to group task. For example, resource name. Let's go for resource name. There you go. And we'll choose the field type task and order descending. So again, you can specify whether the grouping should be ascending or descending based on the selected field. Optionally, you can set Group By and then by fields to create subgrouping levels for more complex organization. And when you're done, click OK to save your custom group. Apply your new group by selecting it from the Group By drop-down list, or if it hasn't been chosen, right? So right now, your Microsoft project has categorized or grouped your task based on resource names. So if you want to remove the grouping and revert to the default task view, you can just simply go to the View tab, click on Group By, and select No Group from the drop-down to reset the view. Now, cost analysis is a critical aspect of project management, and MS Project offers several tools to help you manage and review project costs effectively. By using cost table, sort, filter, and resource usage view, you can focus on specific cost elements, monitor expenses, and make informed decisions about budget allocations. So let's use the cost table. Again, the cost table is the purpose of the cost table is for you to review and analyze the costs associated with each task in the project. So go to the View tab. In the Task Views group, select Tables, then click Cost. The cost table will appear or display columns such as total cost, the baseline actual cost, variances, remaining cost. So review the cost to identify any discrepancies between your actual and baseline costs. And you can also see which tasks have the highest cost and determine if they align with your project budget. Now let's start sorting and filtering costs. Again, we're sorting and filtering costs to focus on specific cost elements. So with the cost table view active, let's go to the View tab. And in the Data group, click on Sort and choose an option, Sort by Date, Sort by Cost, or Sort by Priority. This will reorder the table to show tasks based on their cost. So let's say sort by cost. To filter specific cost elements, let's click on Filter in the Data group and select a predefined filter. Like, for example, cost over budget. Or you can also create a custom filter. Right? Let's do this, the predefined filter first. So this means we don't have any cost over budget. Let's choose another predefined filter. Active tasks. I'm going to choose completed tasks. And here we have sort it by cost and filtered the table based on completed tasks. If you want to create a new filter, for example, I'm just now naming it as new filter. Let's say I'll set a criteria of cost. Let's say greater than $5,000. Right? And these are the tasks that have cost that is greater than 5,000. So it only shows only tasks meeting the conditions that we have set. Now, these steps will help us focus on high cost activities, identify where most of the budget is being spent, or track tasks that are over budget. Now, let's analyze cost. Let's analyze cost in the resource usage view. So the purpose of this is that we will review resource costs to manage individual or group expenses. Since we are in the View tab already, in the Resource Views group, select Resource Usage. Let's add the cost column. And this will display the total cost for each resource based on their assignments. So review the cost for each resource. This will allow you to analyze how much each team member or resource is contributing to the overall project cost. You can use sort or filter options to organize the data further even further. Now, by leveraging these tools, project managers can stay on top of their project budgets and ensure that costs are aligned with project goals and also take corrective action when necessary. Now, reports in Microsoft Project are powerful tools that provide detailed insights into various aspects of your project, such as progress, resource utilization, and cost. So they help project managers visualize data, track performance, and communicate updates to stakeholders effectively. Microsoft Project offers predefined report categories, each designed to serve specific information needs. I am not going to dive into each of these categories, but we will be discussing that in future modules. So first thing that we need to do is go to the report tab. The report tab on the ribbon, and in the view reports, let's go to the view reports group. Well, after clicking the reports ribbon, and the view reports shows the different report category you can access. So we have dashboards, resources, cost, in progress, custom, and recently opened report. So dashboards, examples of reports under dashboards would be project overview, burn down, cost overview, upcoming tasks, work overview. So the dashboards provide high-level overviews of key metrics like progress and cost, making them perfect for presenting to stakeholders. Resources or resource reports help you manage workloads and resource costs efficiently, ensuring your team is balanced and productive. Cost reports focus on financial performance, allowing you to track budget and spending against your plan. In-progress reports highlight current tasks and milestones, allowing you to track budget, giving you a real-time view of what needs attention. It's more or less the current tasks and the milestones that you have in your project. So whether you are reviewing cost or managing resources or tracking progress, Microsoft Project reporting tools allow you to customize and design reports that fit your specific needs. Let's click on some of the examples underneath of each of these reports. So there you have it. Our week 8 lecture. Focusing on viewing and communicating project information. Thank you so much, and I hope you reviewed this recording on your own time.